Now, how about them damn Celtics?
All right, we are back with another How About Them Celtics podcast. Jack is off today. Friendsgiving for him. I have the privilege of having NikNBA back on the show, become a massive friend of the program over the last several months. Nick, welcome back.
What's up, Sam? Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me.
Of course. No problem. Little bit of a sad spot for the Celtics today. We're chatting on Saturday, the day after the loss to the Nets in the NBA Cup, which is one of my favorite competitions, for them to lose in such a devastating fashion, essentially have their cup run dismantled by Michael Porter Jr. and the boys. It's pretty devastating. We'll talk a little bit about just the lingering takeaways from last night, little Jaylen comments, take a look ahead here. Next 10 games are going to tell us a lot of things about the Celtics. We'll go through your emails, we'll go around the NBA, look at the standings, talk about perhaps a disgruntled point guard around the league. We'll see. Then we'll do the rat list and we'll get out of here. Thanks for all of you watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment, tell us your thoughts. And you can find us here every day, full pods, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, game recaps morning after each game, other videos the days in between, and pregame streams live half hour before every single game. Nick has been a big part of those this year too. So if you enjoy Nick, you can check out his YouTube channel as well as him on the pregame. He's doing a ton of great film breakdown there. But without further ado, one of the big, like if you're a positives person, walking away from the Nets game yesterday, it's not easy for you. If you're grasping at what can I take for a silver lining, there weren't many things, but Anfernee Simons, I saw you post about this. I wrote about it after the game. I asked Joe about it after the game. Season high in minutes with 33. Actually played a decent role in their comeback yesterday. And it wasn't like seeing him go off against the Magic a couple weeks ago. It was like he's actually in control of what's happening on offense. And it was a breath of fresh air for somebody who hasn't really found much of a role in Boston yet. Is that something that you personally kind of walked away feeling too, or am I kind of alone in that?
Nah, you're not alone. He did have a cool game. What did he officially end with? Like 23-5. But he
Yeah,
had
23. Yep.
4 assists, 3 rebounds. Yeah. I felt he was particularly good in the second half when, of course, Jaylen Brown was out with those 5 fouls. That lineup with like him, Pritchard, like it was no Derek and no Brown. I feel like the team really struggled to get things going off the bounce, and that's when things kind of got out of hand. But Simons had in the first half. He was able to play off of Jaylen Brown. He had three of his baskets assisted on in the first half, but in the second half he had 6 unassisted, and like he just had to make shots, and he was the only one in that third quarter after Jaylen Brown came out. He was the only one that could make stuff happen for himself for himself. So he had 3 unassisted baskets in the third quarter at like towards the end of the third quarter, and it's just like I don't know. He really kept us afloat, especially in that third quarter. And then at the beginning of the fourth quarter, he did have a couple of turnovers. He had one to Garza. He had one when he was trying to pass to Garza, but I do feel like he's done a much better job. I remember the podcast that I did with you, and we kind of like we're really talking about Garza and Simons, and since that point, like Simons has actually done a solid job at passing out of those traps and those hedges in the pick and roll, and I feel like he really was the guy that saw Kada and saw Garza alive when they slipped those pick and rolls. He had a couple potential assists. He had a couple hockey assists too, and Kada made some nice passes in that aspect too. But yeah, I just felt like, especially in the lineups without Brown and without Derek White, when the Celtics needed somebody to score, Simons was basically the only one who could, go off the dribble and create for himself. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and like him being able to actually create for himself is not something we've seen a ton of this year. It's been a lot of the catch and shoot stuff. Like he has been only comfortable in that role. He's shot well as a catch and shoot guy. He was at one point like top 5 in the NBA for guys that were shooting as many catch and shoot attempts as he was. And every time he takes those shots, I think they're going in. But he hasn't looked comfortable putting the ball on the floor. And I was looking into it a little bit last night just because I was writing about it. And he had a quote towards the beginning of the season last month, October 28th, I think the game was. And he was like, yeah, like it's kind of hard to adjust to this, like playing off of like really talented players. Like he wasn't trying to blame the team, but one thing that stuck with me, he was just like, yeah, like it's being able to have trust that when I get the ball, I can give it up. And like, it's not like I have to make the most of my few possessions having the basketball. And like, that has been so evident in the first 15 games of Anfernee Simons. It was like he gets the ball and he's afraid to give it up. It doesn't leave his hands. He dribbles the air out of it, and they don't make much of those possessions. But you pointed it out last night. He was one of the only guys able to pick apart Brooklyn's blitz defense off these pick and rolls. And he did a great job of finding Nimi. Like I actually was super impressed with the chemistry they seemed to have together. It even like when the game was dead, he had a nice little pocket pass to Nimi on the roll, which Nimi got a dunk off of. I think him finally getting comfortable putting the ball on the floor is going to unlock him a little bit. And you tweeted out, I think some of the MPJ possessions too, where Brooklyn got him going with the little handoffs at the top of the key. Would love to see some of that for Simons, actually. I think it would be super beneficial for him to actually get the ball with an advantage in like already pre-pick and rolled, and he can just make the decision going downhill instead of having to do it himself. I feel like there's actually potential now. Like I'm kind of back pulled in on Simons. Not to say like I want him to start or anything, but like I hope that he can have a role on this team and help them win games.
I was literally thinking about that. Like when MPJ, like those page actions where like he sets the back screen and then he comes out for a handoff, bro. Those killed us. And like the only two times that I saw somebody actually stop that was Ugo in the fourth quarter when he came in, and Simons actually caused a turnover on that. Him and Derek White switched it, but he was already on like the top side, so he just locked him, and it made it harder for MBJ to like come around and get the handoff. So it just came off of his hands, and Simons was able to get a dunk on the other end. But like Simons coming off those, we have ran at like twice for Derek, I think, but like none for Simons. I think the majority of things that we do for Simons is like the chest actions where he sets the screen and then he goes and gets a flare screen, or like he's getting a high ball screen. So like when the defense like hedges and stuff, he can just make that pocket pass. He's made that pocket pass to Keita a ton this season actually. So I feel like they do have some chemistry together. But yeah, I would love for the Celtics to run some of that stuff for him just to get him on the move. And yeah, that's crazy because I was thinking about that before I came on here. So
I just think they need to put him in a position where he can be at an advantage. Like he's clearly struggling to fit, like doesn't really know if he's doing too much or doing too little. I think when you put him in actions where he's specifically supposed to do things, it's going to make it a lot easier on him mentally to adjust. And, I think as a passer, he's been more willing over the last week or so. There was the back-to-back Philly and then Memphis. I think I probably brought this up on the pregame a bunch of times. He combined for 12 assists in those two games. And then outside of that, he had like 21 for the season. So the majority of his passing has come in recent games. And like assists don't necessarily translate to he's passing the ball more. It just means shots are going in sometimes. But it was so evident watching it. And he was throwing a lot of pocket passes, whether it was to the roll or he was coming down off the screen and finding the man in the corner. Thought I did a good job of that too. So I just feel like as a playmaker, we've seen a little bit more from him lately. And honestly, that's what the Celtics need. Like Jaylen getting 5 fouls yesterday was so alarming because in the first half when Jaylen didn't really have it going, you could feel how much it affected the team, how much they struggled to score. They couldn't get the ball past the 3-point line a lot of that third quarter. Once Jaylen did pick up his 5th foul, and I know Simons was in the game for that. He was a part of the Nets run that kind of blew the game open. Like, can't come on here and ignore it, talk about it one-sidedly. Like, nope, he was out there for that. He wasn't pretty, but he was also a big part of the good things that happened early in the fourth quarter. They were actually able to turn up and get stops on the Nets for the first time, even with his lackluster defense, his defensive shortcomings. So it can be done. And that was evident in Portland last year, too, when they had the second best or one of the best defenses in the NBA for the second half of the season, with him being a big part of their team. So maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel for Celtics fans. Jaylen Brown definitely hopes there is, because he was pissed yesterday after the game, came to the podium. You could tell the mood was down, which can't really blame him. You lose to the Nets in a somewhat meaningful game. Like if you're a cup respecter, you care. And if you're a regular NBA player that doesn't care about the cup, then you're kind of embarrassed that you lost to the 2-13 at that time Brooklyn Nets. Gave them their third win of the season. Jaylen calls the team out. He's like, look, if you're not going to come out and play, and he included himself in this, it wasn't putting the blame on everyone else. Come ready to play or don't come at all. We've got to come ready to play. We just went through the motions today. And it was kind of evident in the way that they piled up the fouls too. Like nobody has gotten more upset about the officials this year than Jaylen. He's been outspoken about it. He gets asked about it a lot, to his credit. Like he's not just going up to the podium every game being like, man, do I hate the refs. The refs hate me. Like, no, he does get asked about it. But they let it get into their heads. And there's also a layer to this where when they weren't playing at their hardest, they were putting themselves in positions where they were trailing or out of position, and then they had to foul these guys. And it helped the Nets stay in the game too.
Yeah, I feel like some of the defense and like it was just like drives were and to be fair, we also saw this in the previous game where like the Nets like dominated us for like a portion like in points in the paint and like they were able to drive so easily. Like in this game, like drives were easy. Like Claxton was driving a lot. People were just able to get to the paint. Jaeger had a couple nice drives, and you can't let a passer like that touch the paint because he can easily just pass out to his teammates and make the right play off of that. But yeah, and yeah, I saw a lot of what you just said of like the attention to detail off the ball was kind of off too. And then that causes you to be late on stuff, and now you have to overcompensate, and now you're just fouling and you're out of position and all that stuff. So yeah, I felt Jaylen Brown on that one. He was definitely a part of that too, off the ball. Like it was a lot of like finger communication in that game on the defensive side of the ball instead of like actually communicate stuff. I remember in the third quarter actually when Joe Mazzulla called that timeout like 1 minute into it, where there was a play where him and Walsh, it was actually the exact same thing where they inbounded the ball and PJ again was getting ready to set that back screen, and him and Walsh didn't say anything to each other. They just both hugged MPJ, and then Clowney got a dunk, and then Joe called a timeout. So it's just stuff like that. Like they didn't seem like they were ready, especially on the defensive side of the ball, to do what it took to win this game, even if it was against the Brooklyn Nets.
It's funny that we're talking about the effort, and Jaylen was talking about the effort, because one thing that's really stuck out from this team to me is it feels like they do play hard every game. Like it's been super impressive. It's made them really fun to watch. It was a reason why that they've been in like the top 10 for net rating, offensive rating, defensive rating, my favorite advanced stats to pull out every time. And it does not feel like they should have been they should have been better than their record because of how hard they're playing. A lot of the players that have been stories this season have been stories because of how hard they play, how much they've overachieved because they're playing with good energy. Even Jaylen, as the first guy, like really has taken an initiative to just come out the gates hot some games. Like he tried yesterday against the Nets, it just didn't really go well. He took like the first 3 or 4 shots and they just didn't really fall for him. But they've had such a great energy for them not to show up against the Nets was so bewildering, and just surprising in general. And now they've got this massive 10-game stretch ahead that's going to be maybe really mean to them. To put it in very simple terms, the next 10 games for the Celtics are going to be perhaps the biggest test. And going into Friday's game against Brooklyn, it was like, whoa, maybe they can really set them up and springboard themselves for a strong showing across these 10 games. I'll read them right now. Sunday, they've got Orlando at home. Then on Wednesday, Detroit comes to town for the NBA Cup finale, which doesn't mean anything anymore. Then they play Minnesota next Saturday, Cleveland Sunday, New York at TD Garden on December 2nd. Then they go to Washington, come back to play the Lakers on a back-to-back. Then Toronto, Miami, Toronto. It's going to be a test. Some of those teams overachieving this year. Some of them, I mean, the Wizards are kind of like snuck in there just to be like maybe a reset game. Never know. How are you feeling now that you've seen them lose to the Nets? You've seen them play a game without a ton of effort, and now they kind of go in to face their gauntlet.
I mean, I don't want to like but like I felt the same way about this team since before the season. Like I've told people that they don't need to tank to be in the lottery. I've said that. Like I think my preseason prediction was like 43 wins, like 43 and 39. Like they're gonna hover around 500 for the majority of the season, and they're healthy. They're healthy. I've said this many of times on this show. They're healthy now, and they're 500. This is what this team is going to be. I think they're a solid team, but they're not going to be this. I don't think they're going to be this 47, 48 win team that's just like 12 games over 500. I just don't think that's who. I don't think this team has that talent. Now, if Tatum comes back, we can have a totally different conversation, right? But right now, currently constructed, expect like even when they're fully healthy, Jalen's always playing through something, always giving it his all and stuff. But like as they're as healthy as they can be right now, and they're 500. This is where I think this team will hover around for majority of the season. So yes, so if they can get out of this 10 game stretch, like 7-3, and they flip a switch, that'll tell me something. That'll really tell me something. But I'm expect in this stretch, I'm expecting to be like 4-6, 6-4, 5-5. Like that. That's just who I think this team is.
It might not even get to that. Like looking at the standings right now and like taking a look at how some of these teams have played in their last 10 games, I don't think any of them, besides Washington doesn't count, have finished in their last 10 less than 7-3. All of these teams are playing good basketball right now. Orlando 7-3, Detroit 10-0, Minnesota 7-3, Cleveland might be nope, they're 7-3 too. And then you go down, the Knicks are playing well. Washington's an exception. Lakers 8-2, Toronto 9-1, Miami 7-3, Toronto again. Like you're facing these teams that are supposedly good teams. Toronto's probably overachieving compared to what people thought that they would be. But you're playing them at a bad time too. Like 6-4 might be a generous prediction for these guys. But at the same time, like the Celtics do come to play most of the time. They've shown to be an effort team. They've done a good job at, trying to win the margins this year and put themselves in position to win games even when they aren't playing their best basketball, which is unfortunately what we've seen from some of the shooters. Like it was another bad Derek White game yesterday. He really hasn't shot the three well. It was someone we thought we would all watch the Celtics rely on this year, but instead it just hasn't gone that way. I don't feel great about it. And this may be the stretch that turns me completely to Team Tank. Maybe they bounce back against Orlando on Sunday, but I really don't believe it. I don't think they're going to beat Detroit. Minnesota's a sneaky one in there because Minnesota's winless against teams above 500. All 10 of their wins are against the bad teams. I saw that today online. Cleveland, they already beat Cleveland this year. Cleveland's going to want revenge. Didn't play well against the Knicks. They should beat Washington. Lakers on a back-to-back, I don't know. And I have no idea what to make of Toronto. Both of those are away in Miami. Who scares you the most out of this?
Who scares me most? Wait. Can you say that again? Can you say that?
Yeah, you can make whatever point you wanted to say, and then we could do this again if you want. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was in a different tab.
Are you good? So I was gonna say, so if we just go based on like net rating for this year, against the top 5 team, the Celtics are 0-2 against the which are the Thunder, the Nuggets, Houston, San Antonio, and Detroit. They're did they even play? So yeah, I guess it just switched. But against the bottom 5 teams, they're 3-1. Against top 10, they're 0-3. Against the bottom 10, they're 5-2. Against the top 15, they're 3-6. So again, they're a solid team, and I felt they played hard in the previous game. They just didn't play hard enough, and it wasn't as hard as they usually play, right? And I think that attributed some of the defensive lapses and all that stuff. But which would be the hardest game? I'll probably go Lakers. I'll probably lean Lakers because the way that they're playing. Like even Toronto, I think Toronto's been playing really good of late. Right?
Yeah, winners of 9 of 10.
Right. They Brandon Ingram has seemed to fit in that system. They really pass. Darko hasn't really passing the ball and moving around. Scotty Barnes has been that that like glue piece that has done everything. Emmanuel quickly has completely turned around his game this month, shooting shooting the heck out of the ball. You know, they got a dog like Jamal Shed, and like they're playing good right now. And we all know that the Pistons, like the mark of a great team, or like a team that's going to that, is the Celtics last 2 years. They were able to withstand injuries, right? Their starters were hurt, and against playoff teams, against the trash teams, it did not matter. The Pistons this season have been able to get wins, quality wins, without Kay Cunningham, without Asar Thompson, without three of their guys in the game. I mean, like playing. Jaylen Brown has turned into a different player this year. He should be an all-star if he continues going like this. And he's been able to take over games without Kay Cunningham playing and get them a win. And like Dennis Jenkins, who I saw in Summerly like 2024, and I he impressed me, but I didn't think he was gonna be like this. And he just has came onto the scene like that. So it will be between the Pistons and the Lakers. I just think the Lakers like star power with Luka, Austin Reeves, and Bron coming back. You know, he's always gonna play hard against, not play hard against himself, because he plays hard, but his
Turn up.
IQ his IQ is just through the roof, and you have two supercomputers that you're playing against, and playing hard might not be enough against those against him and Luca. So I don't know. This is going to be a very tough stretch. Minnesota just lost a tough one to the Suns last night. I saw Colin Gillespie hit that game winner, but these are some tough teams. We should beat the Wizards. I think it'll be important how we beat the Wizards, right? Because we have all those tough games in between that, like, and they're just like sandwiched in there. We have to like blow them out and like get some rest in the fourth quarter. Like we have to do that in order. Like I think that will be important. If we like struggle against him and even lose, which I don't think we will do, but the Wizards can play you tough. They can play you tough. They might not win, but they will. They can play you tough. I know they just didn't do that to Toronto, but they can play you tough. They have the ability to play you tough. So the Celtics need the win that they got against them at home like a month ago. They need to do that again to them. So yeah, this will be a tough stretch. I'm excited to see what the Celtics do with it.
Yeah, especially like that Wizards game being the day before the Lakers game. It's a great point. You want to make sure your legs are as fresh as they can be, especially away first leg, home second leg of the back-to-back. Second game starts at 7 p.m. compared to a 7:30 start the day before. Like, not going to be a ton of time to rest, relax, recover after the Washington game. So you're going to make the most of that scheduling help from the NBA. We're going to learn a lot. That's for sure. I don't know how many games I think they're going to win. Depends on the day. After seeing them lose to Brooklyn, I'm obviously a little bit down on that now. But I'm sure if they beat the Magic tomorrow, I'll be back and I'll be like, they're going to beat the Pistons. They're going to snap the win streak. Can't wait to see the Pistons. Always have a soft spot for them. Cade's an awesome player. Hopefully he plays against Boston. It is impressive how far they've come, even with the injuries they've dealt with so early this season. But we'll get into your emails now. Shout out to all you who send them in. You can send them in every single show. Jack and I usually take a look at them, read them. You can send it to hbtcpod@gmail.com. I'm just going to read them off my phone today because I don't have the email on my computer. Don't want to disrupt the stream. First one's from John Blanchard. Reads, Hey, Sam and Jack, turn the screen blue. It's NBA overreaction time. First half of Rockets Cavs just concluded. I'm ready to declare the Rockets as title favorites. They just held Cleveland to 41st half points. It's hard to find a flaw with this team. They're making Cleveland look like the Hornets on League Pass on a Monday. I think Jokic is the biggest threat to a Houston run. Of course, the Thunder exist too. Lakers don't move me. Thanks, in parentheses. But ultimately, I think it's Durant's health that will dictate how far they go. Temperature check. How do we feel collectively about Ime these days? Other side note, these LeBron-era Cavs throwback unis need to stick around. They're too nice. I agree. All right, we're on to the second half, but I don't think it'll be swayed regardless. Go C's. First and foremost on the Ime thing, I mean, can't really change up on that. Sucks. Just an awful thing for him to do to get himself out of here. Terrible way to lose a potential great tenure with the Celtics. Really fumbled that one, but as a coach, he's doing well in Houston, and that team is a lot of fun to watch. Nick, thoughts on Houston? Thoughts on the West?
Man, the West is a bloodbath. I think I'm so thankful every day that I'm not in that conference. Like it's crazy. Like OKC, Denver, Houston, like, and then there's so many tough teams. I feel like the bottom of the NBA is very trash. Like the teams that are bad are like really bad, but the playoff teams, especially in the Western Conference, like the juggernaut teams, like that's gonna be really good come playoff time. Ime, man, it's like you said,
You don't
bro.
got to talk about Ime. I intentionally, I was like, you're a guest here. We're not going to make you talk about the tough stuff.
No, it's
If you
fine.
have
It's fine.
strategic stuff you want to touch on, you go ahead.
I wasn't like there with y'all when that shit happened, but like I know that shit had to be tough, bro. Like I know that's like he was, and he took, not he took us, but like we were in the finals. We had already had a finals appearance. We had an identity, a defense. Like the second
Overachieving.
half of that season, right?
Yeah.
Overachieve, right? The second half of that season, that defense
Rob.
at that time was probably the best defense I've ever seen with my own two eyes. When he put Rob, I think it was the Hawks game when I first noticed it, and he had Rob on Jaylen Johnson. I'm like, what's this? And then Rob just came and flied for like 2 blocks. I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. And then we went all the way to the finals, bro, off defense. Like we traded for Derek White, couldn't shoot yet, but we still were in the finals. And it was like because it
Should have
was
won the finals, if we're being honest. Like, they were 8 minutes away from going up 3-1 and taking a commanding lead.
That picture of Jaylen Brown, I think it was like 90 to 86, and he had just scored. Garden was rocking. It was a picture of him on the ground, and everybody cheering. We up 2-1. I'm thinking like, damn, bro, is this it? And Curry just, hey, but look, so yeah, no, Houston. eBay has done a phenomenal job with that team. I feel like the team, like encapsulates him as a coach. Of course, when you get KD, some things change, but I feel like when he got like Fred Van Vliet, who's a hard nosed guy, Dylan Brooks, who's a hard nosed guy. I feel like those acquisitions to the team like really embody who he was as a coach. Then they still play super hard. So I feel like he's done a lot of good with that team, especially implement their Steven Adams and Sengun tandem where they just get the ball on the rim and Steven Adams or Sengun is just going to get the offensive rebound and they can pass out and get a second chance point. So yes, I feel like he's done a great job there.
It's funny that Ime's teams like win basketball games in almost the same way. Like it's just they're a bunch of motherfuckers. They're going to defend like hell. They're a gritty team, probably an awesome team to root for. It is annoying because his like short Celtics tenure or like the way that it ended leaves the door open for people to just sit there and be like, man, what if he stayed on and coached? And like, then you have people that hate on Joe, who I think has been pretty good this year for what it's worth with this team. And it just too much discussion about something that you can't change is too tough. But thank you, John. That was a great email. RJ, next email, fun with math. Evening, folks. Enough about tax limits, salary caps, analytics. Let's just briefly do some simple math. He said, if the Celtics win Friday night against the Nets, not an unlikely outcome, that will put them at 9-7, 1/5 of the way through the season. Multiply that by 5, and the season would be 45-35 with 2 games left to play. Jack predicted a 45-win season. I put them at 46. Neither looks that implausible even after the poor shooting start. Be well, RJ. Well, RJ, you count your chickens before they hatch sometimes. What are you going to do? I was feeling the same way, in fairness to RJ. I was like, this is going to be great. They're going to go 9-7. They're going to have a chance to beat Orlando, who they split with down in Florida when they went down there. Might be riding high going into this tough stretch, and here I am just defeated.
Ben, I thought for sure they was coming out of the stretch 9-7, man. I was like for sure they was going to do that. But, it's the NBA, man. It's the NBA. And we have MPJ 6'10" shooting like he was, and then you don't give the effort. You don't give the same effort level that you usually get. Also, with the effort level, like again, I tweeted this, and I know this would have been a huge leap going from him not playing like at all and then not playing the whole game and then to closing. But Ugo gave you exactly what you needed. And on MPJ, like my favorite play of that whole game was when he came in, locked MPJ. He switched on to him. MPJ had the angle to get that handoff cleanly. Ugo fought around him, got on the top side, locked him so he couldn't get that handoff. He didn't get the ball, and then he forced a shot clock. Like he almost forced a shot clock violation because they had to just like take a tough shot. Like I understand him not playing the whole game and then closing with him would have been crazy. I understand that, but he gave you everything you needed. At least I wanted to see at least like 2 more minutes of them because as soon as he went out, MBJ scored like 15 straight. And it was just
that
like,
was crazy.
It was crazy, bro. And it was off the same action. It was off the same action. And he just was and then he like came off for the handoff like 3 straight times. And then he backdoored JB so hard. And I was like, yeah, it's over, bro. Like he got the handoff coming and then he faked the handoff, got the backdoor for a dunk. I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. So I need to see more of my Spanish rookie, but
Hermano.
it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah. You know what's funny about the MPJ thing? I have like, I'll tell the story, then I'll ask your feelings on it. Before the game, TD Garden hooked it up, pasta bar for like the 4th time this season. They in the TD Garden cafeteria are doing the equivalent of running the MPJ handoff over and over and over again because they know it works. Bobby Kravitsky had a great anecdote about some football coach that did a similar thing. Anyways, it's pretty remarkable to me that MPJ goes to the Nets is like they're maybe not their clear best offensive player if you factor in Cam Thomas, but like everybody thinks it's going to be the MPJ show. He's going to have a lot of chances to create. Kind of interesting that they still just kind of run stuff for him like he's a role player. Like they don't put him in positions to ISO or anything like that. Really weird. I don't know. I just, as an X's and O's guy, I'm curious if that's like interesting to you, if it's par for the course. Any thoughts?
No, I don't think it's weird. I think it's exactly who he is. Because like okay, so with of course with Nikola Jokic and stuff, he's gonna have the ball in his hands a lot, right? MPJ is not an ISO player. So I would have hated if he would have came here and now he's just dribbling a lot more. No, just run the same plays he was good at, but more. So like he doesn't have Nikola Jokic, he does have Jamal Murray, even though Cam Thomas will definitely take shots away from him, right? But especially if Cam Thomas isn't there, do the things he's good at. But now that he's not with that other team, he gets to run that a lot more. So I mean, I think that he should continue to do these things because he's a rare shooter with that size. Like he can just rise up over damn near anybody and just
insane vertical on the shot.
He can just rise above anybody and shoot the ball. So continue to do and like Claxton had a triple double, but like 7 of them were crazy. Just him handing the ball off to MPJ. He's just doing all of the work. So it's just like I don't think it's crazy. I think that he's been good at this his whole career, and now he's just getting a higher frequency of it, especially in that last game. Well, he had like 25 in the first game too.
Yeah, he was solid, but like it was nothing like the takeover we all saw in the 4th yesterday.
So yeah, it's just I like what they're like. I like that they didn't like switch his whole like shot profile and stuff, and like he was like now he's like ISOing people. That's just not his game. So I'm glad they're playing to his strengths.
Yeah, I mean it's a great answer. Just thinking about like when Mikal Bridges went there, how he like was allowed to do more things. That's more of what I expected. But yeah, I mean they're definitely handling it well. Like his efficiency is good. Like they're clearly using him right. So like maybe they have a guy they can use long term. Thanks, RJ. Next email, Ryan Hall. This is a 2-parter. Subject is just AJ Green. Man, I'd love for the Celtics to go after AJ Green in the offseason. I believe he's the best catch and shoot 3-point shooter in the NBA. And being able to get him fairly cheap and lock him up long term, play next to Tatum, Brown, White, Pritchard, Hauser, be beneficial to the play style Missoula wants. Thoughts? His next email says, never mind. Basketball Reference showed him being a free agent next year when he actually signed a 4-year, $45 million contract. So, yeah, I also like partially feel like that there isn't necessarily a reason for that if you have Hauser, who hasn't been good this year. But that's essentially like the same cap slot, same type of player that you're signing there. I don't know if you necessarily need another one.
Yeah, my first thing was going to be he already signed an extension. I feel like the Bucks know how valuable he is next to Giannis. Like him, being the
Absolutely.
guy that's going to take a lot of threes, being able to make a lot of threes. Yeah, you said like in theory, that's Sam Hauser, the guy that's making about 10 million per year, and just to be a sniper. So just his shot. So I would love AJ Green. You know what I'm saying? But it's just not something that's feasible right now.
While we're here, concerned about Hauser, yes or no?
I feel like Hauser always goes through these waves of shooting. Like I feel like he's always had this. Like, but
Definitely last year.
yeah, definitely last year, and then the year that we won the championship in the playoffs, it was like, all right, this series he's cold, this series he's hot, this series he's cold, this series he's hot. Like he's done that his whole career. Like so, but the regular season, like even through those cold like points, he's always shot 40%. So even if he has like a month of shooting like 25%, somehow, some way, he always finds it to shoot 40% on the season. So that just shows you like when he's hot, he's really hot. And I think yeah, it has been tough. It has been tough for Pritchard, Derek White, who again had a bad shooting game last night, but Pritchard has seemed to pick to pick it up lately, at least in these last like 4 games. Which of course, like they're great shooters. Like they're not going to shoot bad for the entire season, even if a lot more of their shots are coming of the dribble. But yeah, concerned about Hauser. I think he's too good of a shooter for me to be concerned. I feel like if that shit happens for a majority of the season, then I'll be surprised, and then I guess I'll really be concerned. But I don't know. I'm gonna
Fair.
go. I'm gonna go his track record, but I definitely need him to start hitting some shots.
Yeah, it would certainly help. Rough go for him against the Nets. He was like 0 of 3. Didn't really get many like tremendous. Like a lot of his stuff was deep. I feel like they're having him settle for deep shots a little bit more this year too, which is, I mean, in his bag. Like he can do it, but I think if he's in like on a cold streak, maybe not. Maybe get him the clean ones.
Yeah, I feel like there was one that I talked about, like that third quarter without Jaylen Brown in
Yep.
and Derek in, where like the on ball creation was just at a zero, and there was a shot. There was 2 possessions back to back that like really showed that, where Pritchard shot a deep ass three and then came. It was I don't know which one was first, but 2 back-to-back possessions, Pritchard and Hauser took really deep threes after like 5 plays of not being able to break anybody down. Like they ran chest a couple times, but they just couldn't get it open. The Nets were playing really aggressively on them, and they just couldn't get anything going. And I think they resorted to shooting those long threes because they didn't have anything, right? So and Simons like he had 3 assisted buckets the entire game. All of them came in the first half. Like the rest in the second half, he had to get on his own, right? And I think he really kept us within striking distance with Jaylen Brown off the floor and Derek White off the floor, um, and then they did, and then they did eventually come back in that fourth quarter. That lineup in the fourth quarter, the first 4 minutes like a +7, and then Jaylen Brown came back, and then it was a game until it wasn't. But yeah, no. I do. I forgot what I was about to say, but yes, to whatever. Yes,
Okay, yeah, we're good.
yeah.
Great answer, regardless. Last email from Philip Baylor in line reads, "Fellas, I don't often go to bat for guys deep in the rotation, but Baylor has been a favorite of mine for a while. Does he disappoint me often? Yes, hell yes. But step back and look at him. He's a playmaking wing/guard who defends hard. That's a successful archetype, and this Celtics team needs backup playmakers. He might be a long shot, as most players are, but he's only paid $2.7 million dollars and has shown himself to have a high ceiling and that he is unafraid of the moment in the new CBA. I say invest anyone like that. I leave you with this. I saw this coming with Nimi years ago. Remember, he started my whole music video series, in parentheses. Some guys need an extended opportunity to gel. Nimi got that with the team losing 3 centers. Baylor, he's got diluted minutes with the new faces. I'm just saying that Baylor shouldn't be an afterthought with all the exciting new faces. He has potential as a lefty, shifty playmaker off the bench who can hold his own on defense. Do you share my faith? Keep up the awesome work. I look forward to the show every day. Phil, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Nick, I'll let you talk about Baylor. I know Jack would have a ton to say about Baylor, and if he sees this, he's going to be so bummed that Jack has been the biggest Baylor guy. He's like, last night we were talking, he's like, man, he always asked Joe about Baylor's defense. Baylor's defense yesterday I thought was good. But yeah, what have you seen from Baylor over the last like few opportunities he's had, or even just in the season as a whole?
Yeah, I really loved the pick when we actually selected him. I thought he was going to struggle a lot more defensively coming into the year, but like his rookie campaign, he was solid defensively. I thought he was a lot better than I thought he was going to be on the ball. But as a defensive playmaker, he was actually really solid in his first year. And this year, like the preseason and the summer league, well, in the summer league defensively, as a playmaker, he had like 9 steals in like 5 games. So that was there. But like the summer league and the preseason didn't really give us a lot of hope with him, right? He didn't really play good in those. But coming into the season, him actually playing and him picking up 94 feet on a lot of occasions, and him like guarding
good players.
Best guy, yeah, and him guarding the best guy sometimes, like that is not something I thought that was he was going to happen. That was going to happen. And I think you just had it, so I'm guessing Jack asked him this question, but Joe said something about Baylor's like preparation on defense and how like he really understands tendencies, and he's able to like really take that away in the actual game. So yeah, defense. I didn't like his second half defensively last night. I feel like he was one of those players like off the ball where he kind of got lost a couple times. I remember Clowney got a drive on him because he was late. He was helping, but he didn't really close out good, so that led to a drive. But overall, like Baylor's his defense has really surprised me over these first 2 years of his career. But we need him to shoot the ball. Like it's kind of like Neesmith when we like drafted him to shoot, and then we like found out he was like a crazy athlete. Like
yeah, that's a great point.
Simon is like, okay, we drafted him to shoot. We're like, oh, he's actually a cool passer. Oh, wait, he can play defense. We just need the shot to come around. So I agree wholeheartedly about Shaman. He's a phenomenal passer. He's slick with the ball. He has craft. On defense, he's shown a lot more than I thought he would show, especially this early on in his career. But if the shot can go, like he's supposed to be like a Sam Hauser type of shooter. Like in college, he shot 38% for like 5 years. So he's supposed to come in and be that guy. If he can shoot it the way he did in college, like man, you won't be able to keep him on the floor.
He has, to his credit, shot pretty well this year. Not a lot of attempts, not a lot of burn. But I think going into the Nets game yesterday, he was at around 50%, which, again, you have to take it with a grain of salt if he's not shooting regularly. Like, it's not a real-ish sample size, but he's been good when he's had the opportunity, which is a step in the right direction. He's just kind of gotten unlucky. Like, all these other guys that are right around the same position group as him are just also awesome for the most part. Like, would you immediately give him minutes over Walsh or Ugo? Like, probably not. Minot is like the loser in that group right now, which I don't want to use loser, but like he's trailing the group right now. Like he's had a rough week or so. But Baylor last night, I just was watching him and I was just like, man, I would hate to play against that guy. Like he looks so annoying. He's the guy that gets put on the other team and pick up, and he just won't leave you the fuck alone. And that is the biggest compliment you can get when you're somebody kind of trying to fight for your NBA life. It's like, he is willing to do what he can. And the Joe answer you're referencing was Jack's question. He was talking about like Baylor did put a lot of work into his body this year to get physically like more upgraded on defense. But yeah, he's definitely studied a lot. And the same can be said for Jordan, who's made a habit out of preparing different for these games. But yeah, thank you guys for your emails. Great email. Oh, you got anything else?
Just one okay thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want people to mistake that thing as me saying that he's shooting bad. I just need to see it more because just like you say, he's shooting like just under 2 a game, I think, and like in these past couple games, he shot like 2 or 1 attempts per game, which is fine. Like if he's open, he's gonna take it. He's been hitting them now, but like if he's able to consistently do this along with like the defense. Like I said, like when they drafted him, I was like, okay, the only real thing that I see here that needs to change is like his lateral quickness was not good, and he was like a a stockier type of, you know what I'm saying. So he was able to guard those guys because he was smart. But if he was able to like drop some pounds and like get quicker, that would help. And he's done exactly that. This is what Joe said. So I like Shaman, man. I really like Shaman. I've always liked Shaman. I like the edge that he plays with. He will, after he like hits a three, if he's close to the opposing team, he's always gonna look at their bench. He does that every single time. So
He loves to turn around and say some shit to those guys.
he always does that. So he has the edge, he has the playmaking, he has the defense. If that shot continues to drop like it is now, he's gonna be really good, man.
Yeah. Thanks again, guys, for the emails. hbtcpod@gmail.com. I read them every show. Shout out to Phil, RJ. I'm forgetting. I know John sent us one. Who was in the middle? Was it Rob? Ryan Hall. Thank you very much. We appreciate the content. But yes, without further ado, we'll take a look around the NBA right now. Sort of did this previewing the games ahead, which started to be a little redundant for the listeners, but now we're kind of approaching a quarter through the NBA season. Take a quick look at around the league, look at the Eastern Conference. We know our Pistons towards the top of the league, looking really good. Winners of 11 straight. As we record this, they do play the Bucks later this afternoon. Toronto right there behind, 9-1 their last 10. Really been impressive so far. I don't think anybody expected this sort of production from them. Cleveland, New York, expected to be towards the top, 7-3 over the last 10, 11-6, 9-5 respectively. Miami putting together a sneaky good season. Their offense has been pretty crazy. Philly trails, then Atlanta, Orlando, Chicago, Milwaukee, Boston, and then the rest. Any standouts from the East so far, Nick, besides the obvious or the obvious?
Yeah, it'll probably be either Toronto or Miami. Toronto just gotten on this really hot streak of these last 10 games, as you said. Like Darko has them boys passing. I think they're fourth in assists with like 30, I believe. But like their offense just moves and it flows a lot. And Brandon Ingram is able to be that playmaker a lot of times of that team. So yeah, we talked about them obviously. Cleveland kind of staying afloat without Garland at the beginning of the season. I just don't. They got to do more for me, man. I don't know. They just don't really do much for me, honestly.
They're on fraud watch a little bit.
I mean,
The juice from last year.
they've always not frauds, but like I don't think they're built for like deep playoff runs.
I agree with you.
If they do it this year, all power to them. But I just don't think they've ever been that like not ever, but like this core, I just don't think they've ever been that. But yeah, the Heat, that offense, man, they're driving and kicking. They got Jaime Jaquez is playing like a power back. He's just driving and putting his shoulder in the guy.
Giannis ball.
Yeah, he's literally playing Giannis ball. I swear to God, he's just playing Giannis ball. He's driving, he's stampeding to every catch. He's catching it on the move. He's driving and he's just putting his shoulder into people, doing the spin moves and stuff, and just scoring. It is what it is. So I like their offense. I love Bam. I love Kale Ware. So we'll see how the season treats them. Norman Powell's also been good for them, but other than that, I feel like the Magic are starting to put it together. That slow start they had. I'm not sure what Desmond Bane's doing now, but I do remember him like starting off pretty slow to the season. He wasn't hitting threes, but the biggest thing was like he wasn't even attempting a lot of them. And this is like the second player that was supposed to come in and like not fix it, but like get them to shoot more threes. Like they brought in KCP last year and he didn't shoot at all and he shot bad when he did shoot. And this year, like Desmond Bane, again, I don't know what he's doing now. He probably is trending upwards because they're solid now. But his attempts are down, his eights are down. So hopefully they could get better at that. But Chicago, they started with like 5-0 or 6-0, now they're 8-7. So we kind of
3-7 the last 10. It's gotten worse for them.
Yeah, we kind of knew that was coming. Milwaukee without Giannis, this is probably going to be a tough area for them. Brian Rollins has been playing great, but again, without Giannis, it's going to be tough to win games. So how about you?
to answer your question about Bane currently making 1.6 of 4.9 attempts per game, just around 33% from three. Not really what they thought that they were going to get. For me, I'm just a Pistons guy. Like they've been so impressive. I'm excited to see them at the Garden on Wednesday. Should be a really fun game. Hopefully the Celtics come and play for that one. Miami is just such a huge shocker to me. They've done a great job making that team and capitalizing on what they have down there, which doesn't really surprise you with Spoelstra and the way that he manages to get every ounce of talent out of every player that comes through the doors down there. And I really am like kind of pulling for Philly, not really as a Celtics fan, but like just I kind of think they have some awesome guys on that team. I like Maxey a lot. I like VJ Edgecombe. Curious to see what happens with Embiid when he's actually able to be on the floor consistently. But yeah, early in the show, you said, thank goodness I don't root for a team out west. Well, there it is. OKC, 16-1, winners of 8 straight. Denver not far behind at 12-3. Then you got the Lakers, Spurs, Rockets, and Suns. The Suns who have been unbelievable. Minnesota, Golden State, Portland, Utah. And then the bottom of the West is really bad. Just disgusting teams out there. Any big, huge favorites for you out there? Anything you've noticed over the last week on League Pass that's really stuck with you or anything of that matter?
Yeah, man, the Suns really putting some shit together, man. Really put some stuff together. I remember I watched their game against the Trailblazers. The Trailblazers who just had a great game against the Warriors with Caleb Love. Rob was closing in that game, so that was really
A nice game for Rob, right?
Hey, Rob, hey, athletically, he looking nigh, he looking back, but that's
What if he
just
comes back?
that's something. Hey, I've been pitched that. He's a free agent this year, next year. Listen, I ain't gonna say too much, but yeah, the Suns got a great game last game against the Timberwolves, last night against the Timberwolves. OKC is just I don't know, bro. They have injuries. Has Jada played yet this season?
I don't think he's played yet.
Right. So
I think he's missed all these games. They've been incredible without him, and thank goodness for James Harden putting up 55 today because they are
oh
just kind of sitting there watching Clippers games
oh
too
my
and rooting
god,
against the Clippers
I was
because they got their pick.
that was my next thing. Clippers. I need y'all to be good. I need y'all to be good, and I need the Jazz to stop trying to be good because they have the Jazz pick top 10 protected. Wait, is it? No, I think the Jazz pick is top 8 protected. I'm not sure, but it's either top 8 or top 10 protected. They have the Clippers pick unprotected. The Clippers are 5-11. Just like you said, glad they got this win earlier today against the Hornets. But I need the Clippers to be a playoff team because Kawhi Leonard is also coming back tomorrow. I think I saw that report that he's coming
Yeah,
back.
Chris Haynes.
Okay.
Breaking news for Chris Haynes. Kawhi back on Sunday as you
Okay.
guys are listening to this.
Okay, so things are looking up. They got to win. Kawhi coming back tomorrow, so hopefully they can string off some wins and not give OKC a top 5 pick, please. But they're just insane, bro. With the injuries, again, the mark of a great team was just withstanding your greatness with injuries, man. They've been able to do that. They did it last year where Hart missed the first 25 games. Chat missed a huge chunk of the last season. They had Shade up playing the 5, and it just didn't harm them. It didn't harm them. So, yeah, I think the Nuggets, the Lakers have been playing good. Bron just came back. The way that Austin Reeves has been able to, like, take the Honus as a first option when Luka's not there and when Bron's not there and have great games and lead them 2 wins is good. The Spurs, who I love their team, Luke Cornett obviously over there, but Victor's also out a couple weeks. They've had big performances from Harrison Barnes against good teams. He's been able to get them a win or two. So I like their core, like with Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, who a lot of people were really scared for De'Aaron Fox because you see Harper, you see Castle, you're like, do they really need them? I think as of now they do because you always need a veteran point guard, especially with a rookie point guard and a sophomore one, right? You really need that guy who can close games and just be that calm presence for you. Of course, we talked about the Rockets earlier. They have the best offense in the NBA, but like their ability to get second chance points with Steven Adams and Sengun, just get the ball on the rim, is like a 40% chance you're going to get the offensive rebound. So it is what it is. But yeah, the West, really solid teams. Of course, the bottom, like 10 through 15 isn't good. The Pelicans don't have their first round pick. Derek Queen's been phenomenal, though. I will say that. And Zion has played these last couple games, so I'm excited to see how that tandem goes. The Kings, Jesus
You
Christ.
could say this every year except for like 2 years ago for them, though. You're just like, they're somehow in the middle of the pack again, or they're awful. Like they're never good. They have a bunch of just bad contracts that they traded for on purpose. Like they did that on purpose.
Yes.
They went and reassembled the Chicago Bulls that were playing bound every year on purpose,
Yeah.
and now they're out west struggling, and they traded De'Aaron Fox. Like it is bewildering. By the way, to answer your Jazz question, 1 through 8 protected. So if they do end up being terrible, then they will keep the pick. But yeah, OKC is set up nicely going forward. What a NBA year we've had so far.
Yeah.
We already have our first rumors of the season, kind of.
Yeah.
LaMelo might wanna leave, is what is being reported, and he's refuting that. He's like, nope, I don't want to leave. I love Charlotte. Who wouldn't want to be in Charlotte? Charlotte's a tremendous team. They've had so much success. And I only really put this on here because the reaction it has had. I want your take on LaMelo because everybody seems to be like kind of piqued by this. Like, whoa, what if the Celtics went and got LaMelo? How sick would that be?
I'm indifferent about LaMelo, especially
Me too.
Coming here. I'm indifferent about LaMelo. I love I love to watch the style he plays with when he's not on my team, right? Because he's a phenomenal passer. He's even coming into the league, I knew he was going to be one of the best passers, right? But now, he's a rare archetype. He's a 6'7" fast twitch point guard with an insane 3-point rate. He can shoot the hell out of the ball. He can pass the hell out of the ball, but defense, it's just I think he led the league in foul outs last year, and he on top of that, he's injured a lot, and that's why I didn't. Now, hold on. Let's just get this straight. We've seen players we've seen this numerous times where reports come out of guys not being happy and they don't want to be with the team anymore, and the player come out or their team comes out and say, "Hey, we didn't say this," and then months later they request a trade
Somebody said it.
Right.
It's not being made up.
Right. This has happened before. I want to side with LaMelo for now because from a logical standpoint, it said that after a 4-11 start, did you expect them to be 11-4? I don't know. And also, you aren't healthy. You're not there enough. So if he was
only played 9 of the 15 games so
he
far?
played today, so it's 10 now.
10. Okay.
So it's been better this season to start this season. But it's different from a guy who's a great example. All right, so when Dame was in Portland, it's oh my God, he's been there 10 years. He's taking them to the conference finals. He's done all he can. He performed in the playoffs. He's done all this. I wouldn't be mad if he was okay, bro, I'm trying to win. Fine. Nobody cared that he was all right, bro, I think I need to go to a different situation because he gave all he had for 10 years, 10 plus years. He gave all he had, right? LaMelo hasn't done that yet. He hasn't been there. He hasn't been there a lot. He hasn't taken them anywhere. So from a logical standpoint, I don't think that he could be unhappy because one, he hasn't given his all yet in terms of playing the games, you know what I'm saying? And that's just not where the Hornets are yet. If he's expecting them to be there by now, hey man, you got a lot of the expectations. I'm not an NBA player. It is what it is, right? But I think they're positive, even though they're 4-12 now. I think their last draft class and Charles Lee, they're making solid draft choices. They're making solid decisions now. I think their trajectory is up because Khan looks amazing. Yeah. Kalkbrenner is good. Sion James is good. Salon won't talk about that. But Brandon Miller just came back. Things are looking okay. Even though you're not that great, things are looking good. So I feel like this is a weird time for that to come out, but only time will tell. You?
Yeah, it is like you make a great point. This is just a really weird time for him to all of a sudden be out on this Hornets team if it's true, because you actually have like things you could like if you're the Hornets trying to convince him that he should not want to leave, you now have things you can point to and be like, look, like Concanibal looks good. Brandon Miller is good when he's healthy. Like Kalkbrenner's been solid for us, like, and we haven't really leaned into getting a premier center yet. Like they do have a lot of promise, and the coaching staff is a lot of experienced guys who came from here. So like a lot of us know them. It just seems like things are trending upward. And you make such a great point. It's like, you haven't been there. How can you complain if you're hardly out there? You're on the court. He's shooting like 38% from the field this year, too. Like, let's not pretend like he's giving you Jaylen Brown stuff and they're not winning games. Like, no, not really. Like, definitely passes the ball well. Like, there are good things about his game, but he like teeters on the level where you don't even want to be paying him the money you're like paying him. Like, for the amount of games you get, the production you get when he's at the efficiency, like there's so many different things that go into that where like at least to tie it all together, like from a Celtics perspective, I wouldn't what are you going to give up for that? Like, and that's just rhetorical. It's like, to feel good about it, you're probably gonna have to attach picks or something. Like, it's not going to be as easy as be like, would you like Anfernee Simons? We'll give you short LaMelo Ball for tall LaMelo Ball. Like, at least in Boston, like it feels like that's what LaMelo would end up being here anyways. It'd be a weird fit. He'd have to share the ball a little bit more, a lot more possessions without it. Just don't really know how well it would work, but we can move on to the rat list here and then get you out of here, Nick. We do appreciate you helping us out today. Any rat list that jumped to your mind? I've got a long list today. Just disastrous commute for me, but I would love to hear from you.
No. Please go for it.
All right. So as you like could see if you're watching, not at my home, I'm at my friend's house. Drove here, watching college football today. Just the absolute most disastrous drive you could ever imagine with me reaching safely. Okay. Like, you could imagine some worse results than that. Pull out of my apartment, go down the street to get on the highway. Usually like a 1-minute trip down this street to get on the highway. Maybe 20 cyclists just kind of pull out ahead of me, take up the entire street when there's a bike path on the side of it. No regard for the cars, no care, nothing. Just continuously riding in the way. Couldn't believe it. Finally get on the highway. Some guy almost just runs me off the road, doesn't check his blind spot. Do you drive? You're from DC, so you might not, like, being in a city, you don't always have to drive. Like, no, for example, Noah does not drive.
Right. I have driven, but I couldn't hit myself a driver. I'm much more comfortable taking public transportation, not finding parking. I know how to drive. I know how to operate a vehicle, but I'm not a driver.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was thinking about that today because I knew I was going to talk about this with you. Guy almost runs me off the road, doesn't check his blind spot. It's just like, how is, like, and then later, like, the road I was on, or the highway I was on, was a split to get on another highway, and like the person ahead of me didn't know which one they wanted to get on. It's just like, is this like driver's permit day? Is everyone just out there learning how to drive today? What's going on out here? But I made it one piece. We're happy about that. Parking, though, it's funny you mentioned that. Just it is an acquired skill. Like, going to the Celtics games, I've gotten good at it where I know where to park now, and I've gotten, like, I can find a meter. I never have to park in a garage. It's a blessing to know what I'm doing when I get to TD.
I wanted to ask you a question, and well, two things. Sorry, because
fire away.
So much of driving is driving for the other people. Like, if you're somebody that cares about your life, it's like, okay, I have to like drive to make sure, because I know, because there are some drivers that do not give a fuck. They don't care.
It's true.
So if you're a person that's like, okay, man, listen, I'm trying to be as safe as possible, like, you have to like notice other things that other people are doing wrong, so you don't get in trouble for that, or like you don't get hurt. But I want to ask, like, what type of road rage driver are you? Are you like
top tier?
Oh shit. Okay. All right.
Like, I'm too much of a pussy. Like, I won't get out of the car to fight somebody or anything. Like, I won't confront people. Like, but I'll be a big man behind the wheel. Like, I'm pissed. My girlfriend will get pissed at me. She's like, "Why are you getting so mad?" It's just like the incompetence of some of these people. And Jack's the same way. Jack gets super fucking mad. Like, a lot of the rattlers is oftentimes us talking about driving. But just some of these people, I get so fired up. And you make a great point about, like, you have to be very defensive when you drive. like me personally, if I'm driving up to Boston to go to these games, it's like an hour drive. I take 95 a lot of the way. So like I'm on the highway for the majority of my ride. I try and just stay. I like to go as fast as not as fast as I can. A good speed is in as much space as I can be in. Like I hate being around other cars because the amount of incompetence out there is crazy. Great question. Great point. Driving will just boil your blood. Public transit's beautiful sometimes. Jack complains about that too, but I'm a fan.
I think he sees public transportation as a lot more straightforward than other places.
It's nice.
It's very, very nice. You can like there were times where like I was just literally opted to take the train because of like I know that hey, parking's gonna be crazy here, and it's just like there are stations everywhere. Like the big like listen, when y'all come down to DC, man, when y'all come down to DC, it's a train station like 3 minutes away from the stadium.
I think I've been at it.
Oh yeah, duh.
Because I haven't covered a game there. I had visited my girlfriend down there like a couple years ago when she was down there doing something, and I just remember coming out the station. I was like, oh wait, that's the arena right there.
It's right there, bro. It's right. So like, it's so beautiful to just be able to go places. Like now, like delays and that stuff, that shit happens everywhere. But like the routes and stuff, they're pretty good. So yeah, man. What's your other rallies? You said you had a lot.
I was just fired up. I'm trying to think of like what my second one was. It was like a bunch of combined things in that one. You know what? The rat list is Pacific time. I hate Pacific time. I hate the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So I am very excited for tonight. Camp Flognaw is happening. I'm going to be watching from my couch at 2 a.m. to see Childish Gambino perform. It's like the first time in a long time. He canceled his tour last year. I just can't wait to find out like what's been going on, what happened. And it's not going to start till 1 a.m. here. So I'm going to be just like sitting there like an absolute gremlin, waiting on my Amazon Prime music stream just so I can watch. But I am excited. Just wish it wasn't so late.
It's all good, man. It seems like you're excited for it, so hopefully it's worth it, man.
I hope so. What you got? Anything fire you up lately?
Local blackouts, man.
What are your local blackouts? So
right now it's not hurting me too bad because it's the fucking Wizards. But I like the Wizards core, right? It's easier than that. So somebody like asked me, like, they was like, oh, you're writing for this now? I was like, yeah. And they were like, would you ever move to Boston? I was like, I mean, I've been there a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? I've been to 2 games there last year. I was up there a lot. I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, if I got the opportunity to and it required me to, yeah, but local blackouts would fucking kill me there. Because being able to watch the game on League Pass and then immediately watch the game after it happens is such a plus, and it saves me so much time. There was a time where like I couldn't like screen record on there, so I had to like watch the game and then wait till the morning to like rewatch and all that stuff, and I was still able to push out like content, and you know what I'm saying? It was cool. But being able to like get clips and like watch shit directly after it happens, it just saves me so much time. I don't sleep at a good time already, so I feel like if I had to,
you sound like Jack at his prime,
bro. Like that's the only thing with like potentially being in Boston. Like, bro, local blackouts would kill me. Not being able to rewatch games on League Pass, because I think you have to wait like 3 days for it to come on League Pass. And like, dude, like what is that? So yeah, local blackouts. I'm sorry for people that are fans in their hometowns, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm so glad I'm not a Wizards fan, even though I like to watch them. And also, if I really want to watch the Wizards that bad, I could go up there for like $10 and I'll be straight.
It's cheaper than League Pass. Just show up. They'll pay you to go in there. They'll give you a hot dog. You know what's incredible? I forget what team it was. Bobby Kravitsky was telling me yesterday. He was like, I can't for the life of me think about what team it was. Huh?
Was it the Pelicans?
I don't think it was the Pelicans. It was like, it was the New Jersey Nets when they used to be in New Jersey. Oh, okay. They had a promotion where they literally would have, like, you could go there and they would do your taxes for you. Like for you to show up to games, they would do your taxes for you.
Just to get half people in the game.
Yes.
It's incentive to come to the game. Listen, I love the basketball too much. If you give me any incentive to go to an NBA game, I'm going. So listen, it is what it is, brother. But yeah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. They get like here's a free hot dog. I can sit a courtside for like $200 at a Wizards game.
It's a birthday like event. Just go down there. And I'm sure the tickets just get hiked up when the Celtics come.
Right. Hey, listen, brother. I get my tickets the day the schedule come out. So the first day is available on SeatGeek, not a sponsorship. I'm able to go over there and just get all the Celtics games. And then and it's also cheaper this year because Tatum's not playing. You know what I'm saying? So takes some of the attraction out of it. But yeah, man. And I'm also the main Celtics have back-to-back games here too. We play the Wizards December 4th, and I think their back-to-back games like the 10th and the 12th. So I'm going to be at those two. So December's going to be a fun month, man. You're muted, buddy.
Oh, I am muted. Son of a bitch. I can't see my light the way I'm holding the mic. Thank you for telling me.
No problem.
I'm excited for you. I'm happy you get to go.
Yeah, man. We'll see.
Oh, man. We can wrap it up there. Nick, thank you for your hour and 10 minutes of your time. Appreciate you. You've been a tremendous friend of the program this year. Let the people know where to find you, what you're up to.
Yeah, NikNBA YouTube. Well, NikNBA YT. That's my Twitter. YouTube NikNBA. I'm trying to get into more like NikNBA stuff, like NBA things. So I have trying to do film sessions with more players on other teams. I have one on Derek Queen. I did one on Jaylen Brown, which are doing pretty good. So go check that out. More Celtics stuff, of course, will be on the way there. Celtics blog, check me out there. Mostly doing stuff there. And yeah, I'm good, man. Appreciate you for having me on again.
Of course, yeah. You've been awesome. Awesome answers today, awesome insight. Thank you to the listeners very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're here every day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, game recaps morning after each game. Other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find Jack and I streaming live before each game, oftentimes with Nick for a half hour doing pregame. It's been a ton of fun this year. Rolling in special guests every time. We got some fun ones this week. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are there. So if you just want those, follow us. They'll go right to your feed, leave a 5-star review. Oh, also the post-game recap with the Nets was episode 800. So we made it this far. That tremendous 800th episode. What a way to do it, losing to the Brooklyn Nets. But we made it. Lot of stuff for me and Jack. 5 years now doing this, a little over 5 years. So it's been fun. Thank you to all that have subscribed, listened, joined the show as guests. We appreciate that. But you can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are in How About Them Steves for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the pod. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter, Jack's NBA. Nick's is at NikNBA YouTube. And mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco. Come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous.